Hello everyone. Today the class number 3. Class number 2. Today second class for EMFT. Okay. Last day I have discussed that the addition of two vectors and subtraction of two vectors. Now we are discussing that the multiplication of two vectors. So what is multiplication? Multiplication of two vectors. First you have to understand the multiplication. So multiplication means any normal multiplication. What is the normal multiplication? That is scalar multiplication is very much similar. That is m into n equals to mn. That is 2 into 3, that will be equals to 6. This is a scalar multiplication because of it has no direction part. Okay, but for this case the multiplication of vector multiplication, there are first three different rules. First one is commutative rule. First rule is commutative rule. Second rule, associative rule. Third one, distributive. So what is the commutative rule states? Commutative rule states that if we multiply any vector with any scalar, that is m is a scalar and a is a vector, that it can be written as a vector m into a vector equals to a vector into m. This is the commutative rule. That is, if we commute means m into a will be equals to, that is m into a vector equals to a vector into m. This is the commutative rule concept. Okay, it is very much easy actually. Okay, so next one is associative rule. What is associative rule? If we consider two vectors m and n, two vectors, then what happens? M into n a vector equals to, that will be equals to n into m a vector. So if we first associate scalar n with vector a first, then again multiply with this scalar m, then what is the whatever the result, it will be exactly equal to the replacing this m and n. Okay, then we have the same results. Okay, so this is called the associative rule. And now distributive rule. What is distributive rule? Distributive rule is m a vector plus b vector. Suppose we are adding these two vectors first and multiply with another scalar a. So what happen? If we consider this is m will multiply first a vector, then again similarly n will be multiplied with b vector, then your result will looks like same. So m into a vector plus b vector equals to m into a vector plus n into b vector. These are three basic rules for multiplication. Okay, now classification of multiplication. So multiplication again classified into, according to rules, there are three rules. Okay, and multiplications are classified into two categories. First one is dot product, and second one is cross product. What is dot product? Suppose, okay, so dot product means a dot b can be written as a vector modulus of a vector into modulus of b vector into cos theta. Last day I have discussed what is the modulus of a vector. That means the magnitude only. So a vector and b vector have some magnitudes. Just multiply the magnitudes and multiply the cos theta in between them. So what is the cos theta? If we consider a vector is looks like and b vector is looks like, then what is the angle in between a and b? That will be assumed as theta, and cos product of cos of it, that is making a cosine of this angle theta, we get the cos theta. Then just multiply these magnitudes and the cos theta. So if we get the product, then it will be the dot product. Dot product means what? So you have to first understand what is the dot product. Then again next you have to write some significance of dot product. So significance of dot product is very much important. Please wait for some time. So we will discuss the significance of dot product. Okay. So now cross product. Cross product is, what is a cross product? A vector cross B vector. It can be written as A vector multiplication with B vector into sine theta. So what is sine theta? Always remember, this sine theta part produces a vector quantity. So that is A dot B results a scalar. Okay, so first write some points. So within this dot product, some points. It results, okay, so make some, it results a scalar quantity. Scalar quantity. So dot product results scalar. Okay, always remember, dot product results scalar. So thus it has only magnitude. The result has only magnitude, and the cross product has, it results a vector quantity. Okay, so cross product results a vector quantity. Vector quantity means what? It has some unique direction, that is A vector cross B vector will be equals to modulus of A into modulus of B into sine theta, some n cap over there. So this n cap, significance of this n cap we will understand whenever we are discussing the significance of cross product. Okay, just wait sometimes, I will discuss. Okay, so it results a vector scalar quantity and cross product results a vector quantity. Okay, so the meaning of this scalar quantity has, it has only magnitude and it has some magnitude as well as direction. Okay, so dot product and cross product, write down now this significance of dot product. Okay, significance of dot product, right? Dot product signifies, right? Dot product signifies the projection of a vector over another. Dot product signifies the projection, that is, it means projection of a vector to another. So how to project? Suppose we consider B vector over here and A vector over here. So it will be cos theta. So if we consider cos theta over this angle, then what happens? Cos theta means the projection of A on B. So we can write A dot B can be represented as A vector modulus of A vector into B vector cos theta, right? So can we write A vector into cos theta multiplied with B vector modulus of B vector? So A vector cos theta means what? The projection of A vector on B. So just what is the projection of this? Suppose this length is 2 units, suppose. Okay, and it will be, suppose 1.5 unit. It may be. I am giving an example. It is 2 unit and it is 1.5, less than 2, obviously, because cos theta part have a maximum value 1, right? So obviously less than 1, that will be have some fraction. So 2 multiplied with this fraction, that is cos theta value, we will get this 1.5, obviously less than 2. So this distance is called A cos theta. So A cos theta multiplied with this B, now we are adding, now we are multiplicating. So always remember, scalar product, that is dot product, is also called the scalar product of a vector. Dot product is also called the scalar product of a vector. So dot product represents a scalar quantity. Why? Because it just multiplication of these two. That is A cos theta means something, some magnitude, and B cos B means magnitude of B have some magnitude. Suppose it has 1.5 and B have 5 unit. B is 5 unit. Suppose B magnitude of B equals to 5 unit, and magnitude of A cos theta here you consider 1.5 unit. So just multiplication of them, you will get 7.5 unit, right? 7.5 unit square. So unit into unit, unit square. Okay, so 7.5 units square, it has no magnitude, it has no direction. Okay, so significance of dot product means a projection of a vector on another. Okay, is signify the dot product, it represented by dot product. Okay, so now significance of cross product. So what is the cross product? So what is cross product? Okay, so cross product means, okay, so wait for some time. Okay, so dot product signify that the projection of a vector on another. Okay, so now I will move to significance of cross product. So what is the significance of cross product? First you have to understand what is the cross product. Cross product means something sine theta, right? Some modulus of two vector, just multiplication of these two magnitudes with sine theta, and it has some direction. So how to produces the direction? Okay, the significance of this cross product tells about the direction concept. Okay, so let us start this. What is the cross product means? Suppose you are having a magnitude b vector over here and a vector similarly. Okay, so cross product represents, always remember, cross product represents the perpendicular action of any surface. Always remember this keyword. This is the keyword for cross product. Perpendicular, right? Perpendicular action over any surface is the cross product. So how to find this surface over here? So how to find this surface? Suppose sine theta means what? Sine theta means if we consider this a vector and b vector, and by using these two vector, if we consider a surface, okay, can I consider a surface? Okay, so over this surface, what is the direction of this surface? Always remember, surface has some direction. Why? From the beginning I have discussed that the surface is a vector quantity, so obviously surface has some direction. Okay, so what is the direction of this surface? Okay, if we consider a bookshelf, first you have considered a bookshelf. What is a bookshelf? Bookshelf, suppose this is a bookshelf. Okay, this is a rack of the bookshelf. So I am placing a book first over here, second book, second one, third book, fourth book, fifth book, sixth book. Okay, similarly, so the books are arranged in which surface? Suppose books are, this is suppose x axis, so y, x and z. Okay, suppose it is x axis, y axis, z axis. So books are present at this surface. Suppose it is a book. It is a book, and next book. Next book. Similarly, third book, fourth, fifth book, and similarly. So suppose this YZ surface, this surface, suppose called the surface over here, the books is placed is YZ surface. Okay, so over this YZ surface, the books are arranged in which direction? Books are growing to x direction. See, for here we can easily see that the YZ surface book is placed, and once book is placed over the YZ surface, the next book will again placed over this surface of this book. So these books are actually increasing in which direction? Is increasing in x direction. So this YZ surface has a direction which is exactly equal to positive x-axis, right? This YZ surface has a direction. For this case, for this example, we can see that the direction of this YZ will be positive x-axis. Okay, so what is the direction of this surface? Similarly, just perpendicular. So perpendicular of this surface. So always remember, the surface which is formed by these two vector will be have some unique direction, which is nothing but the perpendicular direction made by these two vector. Okay, so what is the perpendicular direction? Suppose this is a surface. Suppose this board is a surface. So perpendicular direction will be this one, or behind of this board. Okay, so either this direction or behind this board. So obviously the direction will be looks like this one or this one. So this perpendicular direction has some n cap. So this n cap represents the perpendicular direction over the surface formed by A and B vector. Okay, so cross product means what? Cross product means the perpendicular direction of the surface made by two vectors. Okay, so now this is the significance of cross product. Okay, so now just have to understand the unit vector first. Okay, so now make some heading: unit vector. Unit vector. So what is the unit vector? Okay, so write a unit vector is a vector quantity which has a unit vector is a vector quantity which has a certain direction with unit magnitude. A unit vector is a vector quantity which has a certain direction with unit magnitude. Okay, so any vector can be represented by, suppose I consider a vector A can be represented by modulus of A and the direction of A. Okay, so this is the modulus of A and this A cap means the direction of A. Okay, so this is nothing but the unit vector. So A cap defined as A vector divided by modulus of A vector, right? Okay, so here write, let us consider a vector A vector equals to this one. Okay, let us consider this one. After writing the definition of unit vector, just write, let us consider A vector equals to modulus of A into A cap. Okay, therefore A cap equals to vector A divided by modulus of A. So can we represent the A vector is like the ratio between the vector to its magnitude, right? So ratio between the vector to its magnitude, this is the A cap. So A cap means the unit vector. So here write, where A cap equals to unit vector along A vector. A cap equals to unit vector along A vector. Each and every vector have some unit vector. Always remember, every vector have some unit vector. But here the predetermined unit vectors are there. Some predetermined unit vectors are there by which we can find the unit vector of a particular vector. That means if we consider this, suppose if we consider this A vector equals to 5 I cap plus 6 j cap plus 7 k cap. What do you mean by this statement? What do you mean? This is a vector representation, right? In your 12th standard or 11th standard, I think you can easily understand this type of concept. Any vector can be represented by I cap, j cap, k cap. These I cap, j cap, k cap nothing but the unit vectors along x, along y and along z, right? So these unit vectors, what are the unit vectors concept? This I cap means the unit direction along x axis. So this I cap equals to unit vector along x axis. J cap means unit vector along y axis. K cap unit vector along z axis. So this A vector have some magnitude by using these three unit vectors, but also have this A vector have some unique direction vector or unique unit vector. So this vector, that is, it may be represented as modulus of A into A cap, right? Just before I have discussed, any vector A can be represented by a magnitude, its magnitude and a direction. So how to find this A magnitude over these values, and how to find this cap of A by using these values? How to find? See, it is very much interesting actually. Okay, so modulus of A equals to, I think all of you are familiar with this concept, and last day I have discussed very well. 5 square plus 6 square plus 7 square, it will be the magnitude of A, right? And what will be the direction of A? Can you find? Last day I have discussed something tan inverse, right? But for this case it has three vectors, three unit vectors. So it cannot be written in tan inverse concept. So how to write, how to represent? It can be represented by root over of the unit vector will be root over of 5 square plus 6 square plus 7 square, 5 square plus 6 square plus 7 square by mod of 5 I cap plus 6 j cap plus 7 k cap by mod of this one, that's root over of 5 square plus 6 square plus 7 square. Okay, so a cap equals to a vector by modulus of a. This is the concept. Just a vector, make some a vector over here and root over of this magnitude. Okay, so this a vector can be represented by this way. Okay, so actually this is the concept and these are the values. Okay, so unit vector concept, I think it is very much clear. Okay, so now you have to remember some formula regarding unit vector. Okay, so now write formula or formulae, better to write formulae, plural form of formula, formulae of unit vector. Okay, first formula, a dot b equals to a modulus of a. Okay, formulae of vectors, right, vectors, not unit, modulus of b cos theta. Okay, and second one, a cross b equals to modulus of a modulus of b sin theta. Okay, so what do you mean by the concept that the cos theta and sin theta? That is, if we consider, so third formula, I dot I, what is value? Second one, j dot j, third value, k dot k. Okay, and sixth one, I dot j, j dot k, k dot I. What are the values? This one, this one, this one. Okay, okay, so I dot I equals to 1, j dot j equals to 1, k dot k equals to 1. So similar vectors, similar unit vectors dot product will be 1, and the dissimilar unit vectors dot product will be 0. How? Can you prove it? Can you prove it? How we can get these values? Suppose I dot I equals to 1. What do you mean by? Suppose just put this a vector equals to y and b vector equals to also y. So what will be the value? So I dot I means what? The unit vector have, from definition, by definition the magnitude will be 1. So these values will be 1. These values will be 1. These values are 1 and 1. That is 1. And cos theta means what? The angle between I and I, that is A and B. I and I will be 0 degree. So cos 0 means what? Again 1. So 1 into 1 into 1, how much? It will get 1. And similarly j dot j means j dot j, that is modulus of j, 1 into 1. Again angle between j and j, A and B, that is j and j for this case. So 0 degree, that will be 1. So again 1. So similarly k dot k again equals to 1. So always remember, dot product of similar vectors always equals to 1. Dot product of two similar vectors or same vectors will be equals to 1. And dissimilar vector means, here the dissimilar vectors but have some unique size symmetry. What is the unique symmetry? I dot j means always the angle between I and j are 90 degree. So angle between I and j, I equals to what? X, the unit vector along x axis, and j cap means what? The unit vector along y axis. So angle between x axis and y axis is always 90 degree. So this I dot j means 1 into 1. Here we put I dot j. So 1 into 1 into cos 90. And cos 90 means 0. So it will be results 0. And similarly j dot k and similarly k dot I. Okay. So the formulae of the vector 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. So now just move to 7, 8, 9 and 10. So what will be the formula of 7? 7 equals to, so I cross I, how much? J cross J, how much? K cross K, how much? I cross I means, again here put I cross I, 1 into 1, and sin theta, sin 0 means what? 0. So I cross I 0, because see, I cross I, that is A cross B, I cross I. So modulus of I equals to 1, modulus of j equals to 1, and angle between I and j will be 90 degree. So sin 90 means 1. Sin 90 means, sorry, I dot I cross angle between 0 degree. So sin 0 means 0. So 1 into 1 into 0. How much? It will be 0. So again similarly the values of j cross j, k cross k, again similarly it will be 0. They are all 0. But for here it will be important, I cross j, what will be the result? Then j cross k, what will be the result? Then k cross I, what will be the result? And now j cross I, what will be the result? And j cross k, what will be the result? Sorry, k cross j. Here you have to write k cross j. K cross j, what will be the result? And lastly, I cross k, what will be the result? There are 6 combinations, I think. Okay, there are 6 combinations. I cross j, j cross k, k cross I, j cross I, k cross j, and I cross k. Okay, so before put these values, you have to make some concept how to find. Similarly, you can find that 1 into 1, there's I cross j, and the angle between I cross j will be 90 degree. The magnitude is 1, right? The magnitude is 1, but what is the direction? We know every cross product have some direction, right? So better to write this is a null vector. Always remember this is a null vector because cross product produces the vector quantity. So these are all null vectors. Okay, so I cross j means what? I cross j means the magnitude is 1. Why? Because I cross j, so I into j, magnitude of I is 1, magnitude of j is 1, and the angle between I and j will be 90 degree. But here also n cap over here. Here also n cap. So how to find this n cap? Okay, so to find this n cap, I have shown you a very easy way. Okay, so what? Always remember I, j, k, I, j. This sequence you have to write. So if we move from here to here, then the positive of next, and if we move from here to here, the negative of next. That what happens? I cross j, just here we move from here to here, from left to right. So I cross j produces plus k. Here we move, if we move from left to right, then I cross j, it will be represents plus k. Okay, it will be k cap. Sorry, it will be k cap. And now j cross k, it will be just point opposite of next of k, that is from left to right movement of this sequence shows plus I, it will be I cap. And similarly k cross I, it will be plus j. And next j cross I, what is the j cross I? Ji. Here you cannot find from left to right by left to right movement this j and I move sequence, but from right to left movement this j then I. So this is a sequence, right? So here j cross I shows minus k because this direction results minus sign. So minus k, it will be minus k, and k cross j shows minus I here. And similarly I cross k shows minus j. So by this way, this is a concept, this is a unique way to remember the cross product of these unit vectors. It is very much confusing actually. In case of your exam purpose, it is very much, and MCQ, whenever you are solving this MCQ and competitive type exam, then it is very much useful. Okay, so the unit vectors are over. Okay, so today's class up to this much, and next day I will discuss from the next topics, that is the third class of EMFT. So today's class is over. So if you have any doubt, then just call me after class is over. So okay, thank you.